Hey y'all, it's Miranda. Welcome back. Happy July. I'm not gonna lie, this has been a really rough month so far, and I am super relieved and not sure how I'm even able to do this video. I was very close in a lot of aspects of my life to just kind of giving up, putting it lightly. But of course, thanks to the family and friends I do have, they really helped me kind of get out of that rut. And they really helped me not lose my streak of doing a whole year of doing 5 spotlight artists of every month. So thank you to them for sure. I'm really trying to focus on the simple things in life and kind of staying positive with the little things that I get to enjoy every day. And now being here ready to go and able to film, I'm so excited to share these 5 artists. And all of them are very historic and meaningful in their own ways that really helps me connect to art again in a familiar way, really. So let's just start it off strong with a really intense and expressionist artist. This particular artist has a very raw and figurative outlook on art and really creates things based off of self-portraiture, of course figures, sexuality, a lot of different things that are very bare and intense. And he really inspires me to convey that intensity and raw power that comes with figures, and especially when they interact and having relationships and expressing your own personal identity, sexuality, and so on. And he took a lot of his own inspiration and followed in the footsteps of a mentorship under Gustav Klimt, who also has gorgeous, beautiful, romantic, and figurative expressionist artwork as well. When I see both of their artworks, it really puts an impact into what I want to convey in my own figure drawing and self-portraiture, and how I want to kind of show the different stories and emotions and actions that come from a still painting. When I see Egon's work, it seems to move to me. It has a very textural, flowing nature to it, while also having that rough technique to it, his own personal touch to it. Almost cubism, but not quite. And yeah, I just really couldn't imagine my art life without this artist as an inspiration, because he is one of the pinnacles of that raw, intense emotion and power when it comes to his figurative and self-portraiture. It is one of the biggest inspirations to me. Now, the next artist I'd like to talk about is far from intense and overbearing. Actually, quite the contrary. She's very whimsical and personable and lush with her artwork. And this particular artist being, of course, Jablonski. I get so much happiness whenever I see her artworks, and so much inspiration whenever I see her work, because not only is she a watercolorist, she does things with oil, she does lithographs, she does etching, she does tempera work and dry point, and it's just been really great to get to know all the different aspects she puts into making her work. It's really not just one or the other medium. She really participates and creates a lot of different things with a lot of different materials. But on the surface value, whenever I see her artwork, it's very, like I said, whimsical and lush and sweet, and I just want to get to know those characters, and I also want to like hear their voices and get to know the story and kind of have like a little movie play out with them. It just seems like it's something that I want to fall into. Every one of her artworks is almost like a little it's like a little world that I just want to get lost in and get to know. So yeah, overall her artwork is very inspiring and very fun to see. And whenever I'm feeling down, or if I just want to go back to that whimsical nature of making art, I always refer to her and have that inspiration from her for sure. Circling back to the more intense artworks and an artist who is politically driven, this particular artist had a very raw and personal outlook on the world and the reality that he lived in at the time. And this artist, of course, being Jacob Armstead Lawrence. He had a very vibrant and colorful way of showcasing very intense and politically driven artworks that conveyed a lot of action and movement and trauma and trouble and conflict that was happening at the time. Even to this day, I feel like a lot of this artwork can definitely apply and tell the stories of a lot of different battles that we're all kind of facing politically. He showcases a lot of historical subjects and very contemporary aspects, and I find that to be very much dynamic cubism and kind of showing that square blockage whenever he is creating the different figures and how they're moving in the paintings is very, very strategic. There's definitely a story being told mentally and visually without having to speak it verbally. I think that's a really important thing for artists to try and capture and understand, that when you're displaying artwork, especially if it's politically or historically driven, that you can convey that without there being verbal descriptions. It's really just based off of the colors and the action and the overall flow of the artwork and the stylistic natures of the artwork, and Jacob really definitely conveys that. Very powerful, very strong, very certain. More specifically, he really focused on the American struggle and how he wanted to convey different stories and his own stories within his paintings. And overall, I take a lot of inspiration and can really appreciate all the colors and shapes he put into his artwork. It is all very powerful and honestly still applies and is very much a reality that we still live in to this day. He's really an artist that will never leave any generation. He will carry on as long as there is this conflict and struggle within our own country. The fourth artist I'd like to talk about is a French artist who made very simplistic and gorgeous, realistic artworks, but still very special nonetheless. And I take a lot of inspiration in terms of the realism that I try to accomplish in my own artworks. And this artist being Rosa Bonheur. She has a very realistic and natural outlook on her artwork, and it really all is just very beautiful and landscape driven and just natural. She really has a very ambient and very peaceful style to her artwork that is so realistic and so detailed that I am ever inspired, and I wish that one of my paintings could be nearly as hyper realistic as all of hers are. She conveys a certain peace and atmosphere to her work, and although they're just simplistic, paintings of landscapes and animals, they're really not that simplistic, and you can really get a feeling, and it's almost as if you're in those moments in time or in those moments of gazing out somewhere and being within that natural area that she is trying to show in her artwork. I really think that that's very special and very calming for an artist like me who finds all the chaos and the vibrancy and the craziness in the world. Alrighty, so the final artist I'd like to talk about is a very impactful, personally impactful, physically impactful artist to me. And this artist being Maryam Khan, who I am so lucky and happy to have come across this artist, because she has given me a whole entire different outlook on physicality and figures in art, sexuality, bodies in art, and what it means to be a human with a human body, really. When it comes to expressing how I feel about her artwork, I feel very relieved. I feel very understood and heard and seen in a way. It's almost unbelievable for me to accept that there's an artist like this out there that just conveys and paints and captures exactly what she wants and exactly what I feel and what I know others feel and what I know she may feel. And it's just the bare nature of what it means to be a human in this world, a sexual being in this world, without being ashamed and without holding back in any way, shape, or form, but completely embracing that and showing that. She is definitely by far the #1 artist on my list. I would say for the whole year, just because based off the year I've had so far, she has definitely made the most influential, beneficial impact on me for sure. Okay, well, that's it. I am absolutely done. This was the hardest video to film ever. I've never had such a hard time. I don't know what it is about this particular time around, just the events unfolding at the moment. This was a very, very difficult video for me to put out, but I'm happy it's done, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please individually get to know these artists, because they are just all very intense, but also very simplistic and beautiful in their own ways. And I think it's really important to stay politically, sexually, and artistically in tune. So yeah, that's really it. Bye. It's never been this hard to film before. It's a really rough month for sure. How you want it and what she really has